Michael Adelsberger from the suburbs of Philadelphia. My childhood was good. My parents, treated me well. I was a good student. Played sports. Started playing baseball and football when I was 6. Always had a lot of friends. Nothing out of the ordinary. Although I did have a secret my whole life. My mom said the day I was born I sucked my thumb until I was about 12 years old, and started drinking shortly after I quit doing that. So I think I was born an addict. I don't think there was much time in between. But no, I started using drugs and alcohol at around 13. A lot of my friends had older siblings and bought us beer and smoking marijuana. And I still played sports. And then when I was in 11th grade, I injured my shoulder, football. I tore my labrum, which is the capsule that holds your shoulder in place. It was a game, and I hit a guy, and it just tore everything. Had to get surgery, and that's when they gave me painkillers, and then that took it to a whole nother level. I stopped playing sports. I was bored, and my alcohol and drug use increased. I went to college. That's when I started experimenting with, acid and ecstasy and mushrooms, all that stuff. And that just got worse. I found Oxycontin shortly after that, and I just became more regular. I went to my first treatment at 23, I believe, because I was working at the time. I was taking like Vicodins, Oxys, whatever painkiller I could get. I was taking it every day, and I had run out. I had run out of money, and I was going to an outpatient at the time. Which my mom was like, "You got to go to rehab." I didn't even know what rehab was. I mean, I'd heard of it, but I thought of it was like jail. So I went to the outpatient. I ran out of money. I knew I was going to be sick, so I told the guy, "I've been using this whole time." He's like, "Well, you can go to inpatient. You can detox." I was like, "What's detox?" And they'll make you feel better and get you on your feet. So I did that. I stayed in rehab for like 10 days. I was like, "I'm cured." And I left, and probably about an hour after I got out, I started using again. It got worse. I didn't really work that much. Like I said, I was like 23 or 24. I started selling Oxycontins, and one night I was going to a trailer park to get them, and I went and met the guy, got him, took too many, and crashed. Fell asleep at the wheel and crashed. So my parents said, "You got to go to rehab because it'll look good for the judge." And I was like, "All right." I always said before that, there's no way I'd ever go back to rehab. So I went, or I told him first, the only way I'll go to rehab is if it's like a luxury hotel. So my mom was like, "Okay, we found you a hotel. A rehab that's like a hotel." I'm like, "Great, I'll go." So I get there, and it's a barn and an old motel. She was right, but it was from 1940. But I learned some things there. I didn't stay sober afterward, but I saw people. This one kid I remember, he told me, because I had crashed a car, but I'd never been arrested. I'd never, done really that much. He said, "If you stay on this path, all these things will happen to you." And I was like, "Yeah, right. They won't." So I got out. I stayed clean for maybe a month. I went to one meeting. Didn't do anything they told me to do. And it got real bad in those next couple of years. I continued doing Oxycontins every day. I tried to stop. I had taken about $30,000 from my parents, by lying and manipulating. And when I knew it was like finally ran out, that's a lot of money, I knew I couldn't get any more. I tried to stop on my own. And I went 5 days of hell, detoxing myself in my apartment with my ex-girlfriend. And I ended up on the fifth day I went to my doctor, my family doctor, to say, you know, am I okay? Am I gonna die? And I felt like I was dying. I wish I would have died at the time. And he gave me a script of Klonopins, and he said, this will help you. I said, yeah, it'll help me. I ate the whole bottle and blacked out and freaked out, and I blacked out. Ended up getting put in a mental institution for 25 days after that. Got out of that. Mind you, I started doing heroin, just shooting up. Before this time I was smoking crack too, which was real good. So then it was full blown. I was living by myself, shooting up heroin, coke, and smoking crack. And my life really went downhill there. I went to jail, I had a warrant I missed, and went to another court date, and they threw me in jail in Philly. Horrible experience. At the end, I was living in my apartment with no electricity, about to get evicted, and my family didn't want anything to do with me. I was all by myself. That was May of '09. Called my dad one day and I said, Dad, I need help. Can you help me? He said, I'll help you this one last time. So they got me into a rehab in Lantana. And I was there for 6 weeks about, and that's how I got the healing properties. I actually, it's funny, I had snuck my cell phone in, and they sent everybody to this halfway house in Lake Worth. And since I got caught with my cell phone, I wasn't allowed to go there. So they said, we'll send you to another great place. And it was Healing Properties, which I'm thankful for. So I get here that day. They picked me up. I was so excited because I had gone to meetings in Delray and I liked it. I thought it was nice. I didn't want to go to Lake Worth. So I came here and it was great. You know, very structured. I made a lot of good friends, still friends till this day. And I stayed here for about 7 months. I didn't really work steps. I had a sponsor and got to like step 3. And just kind of was like, you know, I felt better. So I thought, I don't need this. I don't need to do steps. My life's better. But I didn't know that your life's going to get a little better if you take drugs and alcohol in it, but you're still crazy. That's crazy thinking. So I moved out and ended up relapsing and was out for about a month, and I overdosed and almost had my arm amputated, all in about a month's time. And went back to detox, was in the hospital for a week and had surgery on my arm, and came back to Healing Properties. And it's funny because when I came back, I knew, like, you know, I didn't want to use anymore, but I knew like what I had to do because I was here before and I saw what worked for other people. But you know, I still was like had some will going, and I still was kind of doing the same things. And one night, Tim was running the house at the time, and my room was messy, and I did that before. I never cleaned anything. I just throw my clothes everywhere. And he saw it and he came in, and I thought to myself, oh, you know, it's different this time, blah blah blah. And Tim came in and saw my room and he said, "Better clean your room, I'm gonna kick you out." He said, "You're not changed anything. You did the same thing the last time," and that stuck with me. And I was like, man, you're right. So after that time, you know, I got a sponsor, and I did my steps, and you know, I changed some things about my life, and now I stayed from May of 2010. I moved out in November. I actually live on the beach now. Life's pretty awesome. It's from working 12 steps, and you know, I go to meetings. I have a lot of good support. And, this is a great place. It saved my life twice.
How often do you come to the properties?
How often do I come here?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much mostly every day. I'd say 5 days a week. I have a lot of friends here. It's a good environment to come. I sponsor guys now. 2 of my sponsees live here. It's a fun environment. I'd say I'd compare it to a frat house, but with sober guys. It's fun. It's a good time here. Everybody's really cool. You know, I love it here. It feels like home. I don't live here, but I did, and you know, it feels like home. Like I said, this is a wonderful place. Tim's a great guy. John is a great guy. I've known John for a while. You know, they're really here to help people. A lot of halfway houses and recovery houses in this area are really, they're either in it for money or they're in it for, you know, they have good intentions, but they don't know how to run it right. I don't know what it is, but this place has, they actually care about the guys that are here. You know, they want them to do the right thing. And that means a lot, because, you know, you come here, you're scared. And the other thing is, people that, alumni like myself or, you know, other guys, they always come back and are willing to help. And it's, for a newcomer to come here, it's pretty comforting to see that. And for me, it helped me. And it's just, it's a nice place. There's, you know, a lot of good people here. So,
Thanks.
good times.